All right, hey crew, I am starting a new series on what I'm going to call Mormon Contradictions. These are either things that within just the faith of Mormonism itself and everything that it teaches, it's either self-refuting itself or because it believes in the Bible and it believes in Mormon teachings, it actually contradicts itself. So this first one is going to be about imputed righteousness. Buckle up. So one of the things, if you're unfamiliar with Mormonism, is the belief that there's these three kingdoms. Now, I always get confused. The acronym is Sea Turtle. So it's the celestial kingdom, the terrestrial kingdom, and the telestial kingdom, Sea Turtle. And in each of these kingdoms is where someone's going to end up. I could explain each of those kingdoms, but for the sake of this video, all you need to know is that the highest kingdom is reserved for those who have fully accepted the restored gospel of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or Mormonism, because we should understand that not all Mormons are LDS, which is something maybe we should talk about in another video. But for the sake of this, even within that celestial kingdom, so this is the highest kingdom of heaven, in this highest kingdom of heaven, there's three other kingdoms, or three other levels. And in those levels, then, based upon what of the different temple ceremonies that you've followed, whether you followed the words of wisdom, other things like that, or if you've even gotten married, you will reach the different levels. Obviously, the top level of the celestial kingdom is where everybody wants to end up, and that's based upon your righteousness that you've achieved here. Now, that seems like that fits in maybe well and good with a religion. It doesn't fit well and good within Scripture. Let me explain why. 2 Corinthians 5:21 says this: God made him who had no sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. Why that ends up being a contradiction is because, well, if we have the righteousness of God because we are Christians, because we've accepted Christ, that means that there is no righteousness that I need to achieve beyond that. In the end, another way to explain it might be asking a Mormon, would you say Jesus is going to be in that highest kingdom of the celestial kingdom, the highest level of the celestial kingdom? Does his righteousness earn and merit him that? And I would say every Mormon would have to accept that that's true. And pardon me if you're Mormon watching this and you're like, hey, don't call us that. We're the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Well, I'm not just talking to you. I'm also talking to fundamentalist Mormons. I'm talking to the community of Christ. I'm talking to anyone who would go by the title Mormon or believes in the Book of Mormon, not just LDS. So let me just clarify that for a second. But here's the question. Would you say the righteousness of Christ is enough to merit you the highest level in the celestial kingdom, the highest kingdom of all the kingdoms? I would say that if that doesn't do it, then I don't think anybody's going to make it. But unfortunately, not everyone does make it. Hence, you have the three levels in the celestial kingdom. But everyone who's in the celestial kingdom has been given, according to 2 Corinthians 5:21, the righteousness of God. Because the only way you can get into the celestial kingdom is if you fully accepted what Christ has done on the cross, the restored gospel and everything else, and then you are justified by what he has done for you. You've accepted that justification. But what that justification gives you, according to 2 Corinthians 5:21, is the righteousness of God. So, if you believe in 2 Corinthians 5:21, there can be no three levels within the celestial kingdom. So, for Mormons out there, what say you? Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please pass it on to others. Check out my blog for some other content that I don't have on my YouTube channel, as well as check out my other social media. And if you're enjoying this enough, even think about supporting this financially. You can do that through Ratio Christi. I have a link below.